Welcome back. We are going to, today in this lesson, be finishing up lesson 8. So again, we were using place value discs to represent 2-digit, 3-digit, and 4-digit by 1-digit multiplication. So we talked about 2-digit, we did a 3-digit together on our last lesson. Now we're going to be looking at some more 3 and then 4-digit multiplication or numbers by a 1-digit number. So we're going to start off with 605 times 4. Now, just like the last time, we're doing the exact same process. It's just how many times are you going to do it depending on how big your numbers are. So my first step always going to be rewrite the problem if it is not already in vertical form. Now, again, just a reminder that we want to make sure that whatever number we're multiplying by, so in this case we're multiplying by 4, that it's going to be lined up in the ones place along with the bigger number that you're multiplying. So in this case the 4 is going to be lined up with the 5. Now, I am going to start by showing in the place value chart, and then I'll check my work in the place value chart with my multiplication problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is represent this equation in the place value chart. And the easiest way to do this is starting with my biggest number, 605. I want to show that number using place value discs. So first off, I'm going to think I have how many in the ones? I've got 5 in the ones. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My number in the tens place is 0, so I actually don't have anything to put in the tens place. And my number in the hundreds place is a 6, so I'm going to end up with 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the hundreds place to start. Now, I've done this part, I've shown this in the chart. I now want to show times 4, or 4 groups of 5 in the ones and 6 in the hundreds. So in this case, I've already got one group. I need 3 others. So these are going to be groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, again, go ahead and work these out with me because this is just going to give you good practice for when you go off on your own to be able to model this problem independently. So again, I've got 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do the same in the hundreds. I've got 6 in each group. I've already got one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 groups there. Perfect. Okay. Now, just like last time, what's going to come into place now is what are my values in my columns, and do I need to bundle and send over? Now, again, be thinking to yourself, how many do I have in a bundle? I'm looking for 10 in order to bundle. All right, let's start in the ones column. So I have groups of 5. Well, I know that 2 groups of 5 is going to give me a 10. So send that over. 2 groups of 5 also gives me a 10. So I'm going to send that over. So that'll end up giving me 2 10s. Done with the ones place. I'm good with the tens. I'm going to look at the hundreds now. I have 4 groups of 6, or if I count all these dots up, I should have 24 discs. So I can think to myself here, well, the number 24, how many tens can I pull out of that? I can pull out, because this is like saying 10 plus 10 gives me 20 plus 4. I know that I should have at least 2 groups of 10 here. So I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 6, 8. So I've got 2 there. 6, 8, 9, 10. So I made 2 groups of 10, sending over. And I have, although I kind of went over that one dot, there are 4 left in that column. Much like we showed down here when I split that 24 apart. So I've now got 2 in the thousands, 4 in the hundreds, 2 in the tens, and nothing in the ones. And then if I place my comma, I've got 1, 2, 3, comma. So according to my place value chart, 605 times 4 equals 2,420. I'm going to now move over to my equation and see if I get the exact same answer, which, if I've done my math correctly, should match up. So again, we're using partial products here, which means we're breaking these numbers apart, and then we'll end up adding them together in the end. My first thought's going to be 4 times 5 ones is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 0, well, there's nothing there, and if I have anything times 0, it's 0. And then I take 4 times, not just a 6, think about what place value that's in. That is in the hundreds place. That is actually a 600. 4 times 600, 4 times 6 hundreds is, 4 times 6 is 24 hundreds, or we think of that as 2,400. Okay, finally I'm going to add all of those up. So I've got 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus zeros is 4. And 2 plus zeros is 2. Notice I've got 2,420 and 2,420. All right, we're going to move forward. We're going to look at another 3 by 1 problem. And again, when I say 3 by 1, it means that I have 1, 2, 3 digits times a 1-digit number. So moving forward, we're going to be looking at the problem 851 times 3. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 851 times 3. Okay, again, I'm going to start with the place value chart, and then we'll compare answers again. If you want to pause, try this on your own, and then come back and check your answer, I highly recommend that. That way you can see if you're processing through this on your own correctly, and if not, where do we need to go back and fix those mistakes. So thinking about which number am I going to show in the chart to begin with, I'm thinking I'm going to be showing 851. So I have 8 in the hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 in the tens. And 1 in the ones. 1, 5, 8. Okay. Check. I've shown that in the chart. Now I need to multiply by 3. So I'm going to have 3 groups of everything. So I'm going to have 3 groups of 1. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have 3 groups of 5. So that's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3. And finally, I had 8 in this group, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3. Okay. I'm almost done with my chart. My next and last step is go through, count up what I have in my chart. Now I want to start over here in the ones because I may have to bundle and send over. And if I start in the hundreds and I don't take that into account, I may end up missing a few discs here and there because I haven't accounted for moving from smaller to larger. So always start in the ones place while you're doing this. We end up having 3 in the ones, so I'm good there. I don't have to bundle. I have 5, 10, 15 in the tens. Well, this is too big. I can take a bundle of 10 out of there. So I'm going to bundle up 10 and send it over. And that ends up leaving me with 5 discs in the tens place. And I have 1 in the hundreds. And now I have 8 plus 8, 8. Oops, I don't want to do that. 8 plus 8 is 16. plus another 8 is 24, 25, including my one I just added. So 25, if I'm thinking, how many 10s can I get out? 10 plus 10 plus, so 10% is 20, plus 5 is 25. So I should be able to get 2 sets of 10 out of here. So 8, 9, 10. And then that's 3, 6, plus 4 is 10. So I end up with 2 in the thousands. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. If you notice again, 5 down here, 5 left over. So I'm showing right now that 8,851 times 3 equals 2,553. Okay, well, let's go over to look at our partial products. We're going to practice, see, am I matching what I've just created in my chart? So again, we're just building on all of these skills that we've been working on, not only in Module 3 these last few days, but also our place value skills from Module 1. All right, you should be thinking, what place value am I going to start in? Always going to start in those ones. So I have 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times not just 5, but a 50, because it's in the tens place. 3 times 50 is 150. 3 times not just 8, but 800 is 2,400. Because I've got the 3, so the 800, let me show that. The 800, in case you're wondering where I got that 2,400, times 3. Remember, this is like when we split our number apart here. Sometimes our brains move a little bit faster than working it out, but this is, we want to remember that process of how we got there. So this would be like 8 times 100 times 3. And then what you probably go ahead and skip to doing is the 3 times 8, which is 24, times 100. Well, we don't just add 2 zeros, although you end up with 2 zeros. That's because you end up multiplying by 100. So the 2 zeros come from multiplying by 100. That's how I got my 2,400. All right, last step, I need to add. So I got 3 plus 0 plus 0 is 3. 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 2 plus 0 is 2. So if you notice again, I got my matching answers, 2,553 and 2,553. All right, last problem we're going to look at right now. All we're doing is that same exact process, but we're just going 1 digit higher. So we're going to look at our new problem. We have 6,379 times 4. Notice I line that up in the ones place. All right, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw it in my chart. So I've got 9 in the ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 in the tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 in the hundreds, 1, 2, 3. And 6 in the thousands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check. Next, I'm going to show my multiplying by 4. So I'm going to have 4 groups of everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I have 4 groups of each of my digits. Now, the reason that we're going to start getting away from the place value chart is if you notice, you start to get quite a few place value discs in your chart, and it just kind of gets overwhelming as you start to get to bigger numbers. So we'll start to leave that behind here soon, but we want to be really hammer down that process of how are we getting these numbers? Where are these numbers coming from as we multiply over here on our vertical multiplication problem? So I multiply by 4, check. I can't leave it as is right now though. I definitely have more than 10 in some of these columns. So I'm now going to bundle my groups of 10 and send them over where necessary. So I have 9, so this was 9 times 4 over here. So if I'm thinking math facts, I've got 36. So I know I should have at least 3 groups of 10. So 9, 10, that would be 8 left over, 2, and then 3, so 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice I'm getting a little messy here. So try to keep your work as organized as possible. Okay, so I had 3 groups here. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left over. Okay, I've got 28 bundled with an additional 3, which gives me 31 in my column. So I'm already thinking, well, I can get 3 groups of 10 out of here. So I've got 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I got 4. Plus 4 is 8, 9, 10. And I had 1 from this column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I got 1 from that column, and then 4, 8, okay, there we go, 9, 10. My goodness, I'm getting messy here. Okay, but I ended up with 3 groups, is the important part. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have 1 left over. Now I'm going to look at my hundreds column. Can I make a group of 10 here? So I've got 3 with 4 groups. That's 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I know I can get 1 group for sure. So 3, 6, 9, 10. I send 1 over, and I have 5 left over. And finally, I have 4 groups of 6, so that's 6 times 4 is 24. I have 25 in this column, so I know I'm going to have 2 groups of 10 come out. 6, and 8, 10. So there's my 2 groups with 1, 2, 3, 4 left in that original group, and then my 5th one down here at the bottom, so 5. And finally 2 in the 10,000s. Holy smokes, lots of bundling here. Lots of bundling. Don't forget your comma. So we've got 1, 2, 3 place values, stick your comma, and we have 25,516 as our answer to 4 times 6,379. Now, this is where using these partial products is going to significantly reduce the amount of time that you're spending solving this problem, because the amount of time it takes for us to do this is going to be a lot different than that chart and bundling and sending over. So my first thought, I'm taking 4 times 9. The 9's in the ones place, so it's just a 9. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 7, not just 7, but 70. Well, 4 times 7 is 28, and I'm multiplying by a 10. So I get 280. 4 times not just 3, but 300 is, well, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 100 is 1,200. And finally, 4 times not 6, but 6,000. Well, 4 times 6 is 24. When I multiply by 1,000, I end up with 3 zeros. And I get 24,000. All right, last step here. Hopefully we end up with our final answer. We are going to add. I have to add over to the side here. 6 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 8 plus 0 plus 0. 3 plus 8 is 11, so I got 1. Carry the 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. And 2 plus nothing is 2. So notice all those place values are lined up really nicely to help me add super easily. Got to place my comma. And I end up again with, oh, this should be a 6, my bad, with 25,516, just like I did over here on the chart, but in a lot less time. We are going to continue to practice this. If you need some additional help, always come see me, and I can give you some problems for you to practice on. Again, we're really working towards trying to get to this partial product stage right here so that we can start to leave those place value discs behind, but still have an understanding of where are we getting these numbers. Because if you look in your chart, you end up with 36 in your ones place, is where we were to begin with. We had not 280, but we had 28 in the tens place. We had 12 in the hundreds place, and we had 24 in the thousands place. So it's just, where are those numbers coming from that we're looking for? This is going to be where I leave you today, but I wish you the best of luck as we continue with multiplication.